Hey, how's it going? Didn't give me a 5 seconder this time. So I forgot to mention in my video last night that a lot of us hide from our parents and our family members so we don't get yelled at, we don't get hit, and we don't get sexually abused, molested, or raped. I'll use the word. Um, yeah, this is for the one percenters, man. And the reason why I'm making these videos is because I don't think anybody understands our population. People with borderline personalities, sort of bipolar, clinically depressed, who are abused at home, who are neglected, who have very unloving parents, who have mentally ill parents, who are schizophrenic. The group of people that are kind of seen as the shadows of our culture. I wrote this book for us. And I was going to originally title this book, The World Not Meant for Us. And then I wrote it under another name, a pen name, and it was called I'm Feeling the Darkness of Suicidal Depression Again. That was written by Joe Winterow. I also have YouTube videos by Joe Winterow. I'll leave his name in the comments below. That's when I was really going through dark times. And I made 70 or 60 videos underneath him. You should watch his videos. He's wearing a Viking hat with a bandana over his face. He was really scary. When I was more psychopathic, when I was more of a psychopath, I would make videos under him. And I didn't want anybody to know who I was because those videos were so scary that I wore a Viking hat and face mask, and so nobody would know who was filming those. And that book, that ebook's only $1 on Amazon. So if you really don't have that much money, buy The Darkness of Suicidal Depression Again by Joe Winterow. That book is legit. Anyways, here we go. But yeah, this is for our culture. This is for our people. Because there's the pretty people, there's the people who don't care, and then there's the people that can't leave their house because they're so paranoid. I'm 45 years old, and I can't leave the house because I don't want to be seen by people. And I'm afraid people will judge me because I'm a 45-year-old man by myself. I can't function. I can't pay bills. I can't, I am so detached from reality that I don't understand the concept of anything. Whether it's, I don't know, I'm always in this weird state of being so far gone that if I had bills on the table, I would just look at them and I wouldn't understand them. If I owned the house would just end up getting taken away from me because I don't understand the concept of things. And I can only exist on this planet only to stare at things. And that's as far as I go. And every time I've gotten a job, I've always had someone on the higher order of things talk to me and be like, why aren't you keeping up with this stuff? Why aren't you keeping up with grading papers or filling out forms? Or it's because I can't. I'll get a piece of paper in front of me and I should be grading it or filling it out, but I'll just stare at it and I'll just completely blank out and it won't get filled out. And I don't understand why my brain can't function. And then I start to get paranoid that people are talking about me. And then I start to become scared of people. And then I can't look at people because I feel like they're looking into my eyes. And then I'm losing sleep at nighttime because I'm going to have to run into those people the next day. And I can't sleep. And then I become sleep deprived, which makes me more paranoid. So when I see those people the next day, then I have bags under my eyes and I look like I'm like some zombie or I feel like dark, or I feel like there's something wrong with me. And now they're talking about me even more because I only got 3 hours of sleep, or even less than that. And now I'm like more delusional because I'm sleep deprived, and now I start to get schizophrenic, and then I start crying over nothing, and I have breakdowns and mental breakdowns, and then people keep staring at me, and then I feel like they're judging me, and then I start to get so upset that I just want to kill them. And that's the chain. Every effing time. So it's like, you got people like me, and you got the rest of the fucking population. And I wrote this book for people like us, people like me, because the other 99%ers, they don't fucking understand. And you know what? I'm getting really sick of YouTube. Because in the beginning, when I was making pretty videos, they were all like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. Let's send this guy's videos out to hundreds of people. Because I would wake up every morning and I would look at like the views that I would get. And I would get hundreds of views while I was sleeping. I would go to sleep, I wake up the next morning, and 200 people watched my videos when I was making pretty videos 3 weeks ago. And then I stopped making pretty videos. I started making real videos about what our society really is and what like we really go through. And I started reading from the book more. And guess what happened? I went from getting 100 to 200 views every night while I was sleeping to about 10 views every night while I was sleeping. Why did that happen, YouTube? I wonder. Because you're controlling what you want people to see. Well, F you, YouTube. Yeah, so some of us have to hide from our parents and our family members in our room because we're so scared of getting yelled at or hit or raped. So F you, YouTube. This is for, you know what? Because nobody wants to live in goddamn reality anymore. They just want to pretend that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. And thank God for people like Gabor out there that actually are addressing things like this. But how many people know about Gabor? No, we don't care about people like Gabor. And YouTube certainly won't run stuff like this. Why? Because they don't care. And they would rather have people buy stuff. And they want people to feel lonely and depressed. And they want people to get lower and lower and lower so the economy could run. So people keep buying stuff because they feel so terrible about their lives. How about we address the problems? That's why this book is $3. It's $3 effing dollars. You go on Amazon, you buy it, and you read it. And you start to understand that there are people out there like this that are suicidal all the time. That movie, The Joker, I was so excited when he started killing people in the end. Because I'm like, good, he's killing people. Good for him. Because maybe, I'm not going to say things like that. Because then they're really not going to play my videos. But you should watch Joe Winterow. He said stuff like that and he got away with it. I don't know how he got away with stuff like that. Because it was probably before COVID. They didn't have the editing processes back then. YouTube probably wasn't as paranoid back then. So anyways, but yeah, let's just say this. There are people out there that are really, really, really suffering. And I always go with the state of love. But guess what? If people aren't being informed about the real problems in life, or the 1%ers, and I'm not talking about the rich 1%ers, I'm talking about the mentally ill 1%ers, the people that are psychopathic, the people that have BPD, the people who are bipolar, the people that are schizophrenic, the people that are so delusionally paranoid that they can't leave your house like me. So we have to live a half-life. We can't do anything. We're so scared of people that we're afraid to get in a car and go anywhere. And the only time we can go places is if we go with safe people, like our mothers or our sisters or, whoever. Talking from personal experience here. I can't go into a store by myself. I'm going to worry about what people are going to think about me. How am I going to get there anyways? Can't even drive a car. I'm not going to stand there on a bus stop waiting for a bus, because then I'm going to start to feel like people are judging me, and then I'm going to start to get suicidally depressed because I'm going to feel so like hurt that like people are like looking at me like I'm a piece of crap and a cockroach of their society, that I must be on drugs or something, or I must be an alcoholic because I'm waiting there to take the bus. Why doesn't this guy have his act together? He looks like a 45-year-old man and he's waiting at a bus stop. Like, he must be a drunk or an alcoholic. What's his problem? Why can't he like get a car with some kind of bum? He's probably living off of the government's money. A lot of people don't understand that some of us live in a home where we grow up with severe trauma, where we get beat and yelled at and raped. God forbid you pretty people understand that. With your perfect freaking little lives. And don't get me wrong that nobody's perfect. But some of you grow up in these little pretty houses with this loving family, where you go to nice colleges and get really nice education. Sure, your parents are probably really hard on you, and that's like little T traumas, I guess you could say. But you grew up pretty okay, and you grew up pretty loved, and you have average people problems, and then people around you get cancer, and you're like, oh my God, people around me are getting cancer. You know what? If people around me get cancer, I'm like, that's all right. Everybody dies. Because the people like me that grow up the way we do, we're sick in the freaking head. I really wanted to curse there, but I held back. We're really sick in the head. We're really sick in the head. If somebody dies right in front of me, I have no empathy for them. No empathy. I'm like, everybody dies. If somebody's going through pain, I'm like, work on your suffering. Go on YouTube, watch some psychology and spirituality videos. Fix yourself. I do not care about people at all. I write these books so I can inform people that there's people out there like me that exist. People that are tortured. People that can't leave the house. People that are delusionally paranoid. People that are so depressed we can't get through a day without crying or wondering why we were even born. Those are my people. That's the 1%ers. That's what this book is about. It's journal entries of somebody that is like that is capable of school shootings, capable of mass shootings, and how to fix it. And the only way to fix it is by being the present moment. The only way to being empathetic or loving other people is by being present. But on days like today, where I wake up in the morning and it's 3:59 in the morning. Why? Because I can't sleep at night, that's why. Nobody cares about us. I have a chapter in this book called Cockroaches. It's called Cockroaches because I feel like that's what our population is. People know about us, and they don't want to see us, and they don't want us around. They just want to be like, we know you're there, but as long as you stay away from us, we're good. We're okay with the fact that you still live on this planet. You schizophrenic, psychopathic, bipolar, BPD, and, other people. Because we're so unpredictable that we scare the shit out of people. My mother-in-law came to visit a couple of months ago for my nephew's graduation. And I was saying something, and my mom wasn't listening, but she was listening to everybody else in the room. And I felt unloved and neglected. I felt like she listened to everybody else but not me. And I started fucking yelling at my mom. I was like, if you would fucking listen to me every once in a while, maybe you'd fucking learn something. Because I know a lot of shit that most people fucking don't. Because I study psychology and spirituality to sickening degrees, so I won't fucking kill other people or kill myself. And I felt like she wasn't listening to me. So I fucking threw down on her. I fucking started like fucking throwing down on her. And I saw my mother-in-law. Fucking bitch! I saw my mother-in-law look at my fucking mom. And she was like, she gave her the fucking eyes like, I wanted to fucking slit her goddamn throat. But I didn't. I could fucking kill somebody right now and I'd give a fuck less about him. Leave him dead on that goddamn floor. That's why the name of this book is called Psychopath. Because it's about somebody that's psychopathic and suicidal, that could kill somebody or kill themselves in a second's time. And the only way to fix that is by being present. That's the only answer. That's the only way. That's why dialectical behavior therapy always pushes being present. That's the answer. Gabor Mate, the only way to fix trauma, being present. Richard Schwartz, the only way to fix trauma, being present. The big S, the true self. What is the big answer to not killing people or not killing yourself? By being present and being the present moment, being consciousness, being connected to all things and all people. That way you don't want to kill people, you don't want to kill yourself. But sometimes it's really hard to get there when people look at us like we're fucking crazy and they would rather not have us around because they think there's something wrong with us. We'd rather just fucking kill them and get it over with. You know, in the chapter of my book, I talk about eliminating the entire fucking planet, just killing all 7 billion people, and it just being me with the fucking squirrels and the birds. And I'd be so happy and I'd spit on all their fucking graves. Because that's who I really fucking am at the end of the day. You know, I do all these pretty videos of me in the woods talking about fucking the present moment and staring at goddamn trees. But when it all comes down to it and the real fucking person comes out, I'm this guy. I'm Joe Winterow. I'll leave him in the fucking comments on the bottom of the page. Because you need to listen to him. Especially if you don't know anything about this goddamn population of the one. Because we struggle every second of every fucking day. And you don't. Because you're the pretty people that were loved, that didn't have severe trauma, that weren't beaten, yelled at, sexually abused, that aren't addicted to shit just to get through a fucking day. You're addicted to little fucking things like Starbucks coffee and your fucking Netflix, but you're not addicted to the big shit. A lot of us, for the women out there that were sexually abused, you are fucking massively obese now because you're afraid to get raped again. And when you're in interviews with people, you tell the psychiatrists or the doctors that the reason why you've gained so much weight in your life is so nobody would ever rape you again or sexually abuse you again. That's a real thing. I learned that in The Body Keeps the Score, one of the best trauma books ever written about trauma. So we have to evolve ourselves so we won't get hurt again. Whether it's gaining extreme amounts of weight so we won't be raped. Whatever it is, addiction, drug addiction, alcohol, not trusting people, or hurting other people or abusing other people so we can somehow release the pain. Whatever that is. A lot of us are still 3-year-olds. Anyway, so my mother-in-law, when she left, she gave everybody a hug, but she didn't give me a hug. You know, because she thought I was an evil person. And fuck her, man. I am an evil person. I'll slit her fucking throat anytime I want. And I don't care. Zero empathy. You want to give me, when I'm in my true form, not when I'm the present moment. If I'm not the present moment, if you want to give me the psychopathic checklist, I'll score a perfect 40 on that fucker. Because I've taken it so many times, I know that I'm in the high 90s. I'm sorry, high 90s. I know that I'm in the high 30s or a perfect 40. I took it at age 7 and I got in the high 30s. So F you, Robert Hare. Robert Hare, he's like the godfather of psychopathy right now. Shout out to Robert Hare. If you want to learn something about psychopathy, read Robert Hare's book. I forgot the name of it. Not Snakes and Suits. That's white collar psychopaths. I can't stand them bastards. Do you know that there's more CEO psychopaths than there are psychopaths per population than there are psychopaths in the prison system in the US? There are more psychopathic CEOs in America per population than there are populations of psychopaths in prison. I think the CEO psychopath rate, where they do like the psychopathy checklist, you know, like kind of thing on like the CEOs, they're more psychopathic than the inmates in prison. And a lot of psychopaths are people like me, you know, we can be very normal, I guess you could say. We can be very convincing, very believable. But if we want to turn, we can turn. Well, I don't think I don't know if many psychopaths are like that. I think I'm a bit different. Because I'm either a part of a group and I can enjoy people's company, but when I start to go really deep into this person and I become the trauma again because I'm not the present and I'm no longer the present moment, I could really go into the state of wanting to take another person's life. Because as I've said in this book, and I've said it a million times, and I think it's going to be, if I ever become famous, it'll be one of the only quotes I'm ever remembered for. When you don't value human life, such as your own life or other people's lives, you could take life. So when you don't value life, you could take life. So if I don't value my own life and I could kill myself at any second, I could kill anyone. When you don't value human life, you can take human life. It's that simple. That's why I don't care if people get cancer and die. That's why I don't care if people die in front of me, because I don't value human life. If I died right now, I wouldn't care either, because I don't value human life. Most people do value human life. When people get cancer, they freak out. They're like, ah! And I know a lot of cancer survivors out there are fucking spitting out their fucking phone right now because you hate me, but I don't give a fuck. Because you're the pretty fucking people. If you were fucking tortured like me or my 1% population that were raped, yelled at, and fucking abused and shit, you wouldn't give a fuck either. People get cancer around you, you're like, whatever, fucking. I don't give a shit. Because we don't care about people and we don't trust people. We feel like we can't even get close to people. Why the fuck do we care about if people get cancer or not? Fuck that shit. Somebody dies around us, we don't give a shit. That's why most of us join gangs and kill people and shit. We're demented. We're fucked up in the head. And usually if we get involved in relationships, we torture the person that we're with. Whether we beat them, yell at them, put them down. Because we act out the pain from our childhood. We act out the pain from our womb. We act out how we were treated, how we were beaten, and what we saw in the home. when we were kids. What we saw with the relationships around us in the home, we continue to act that out when we get older, in adulthood, to our relationships. That's why I choose not to be with people. I enjoy booty calls. Like, I know that's like an old term from the 90s, but yeah, I love booty calls. Like, you want to come over and make out with me? Sure, let's do it. But that's as far as I go, man. And then, like, if you want to come over next Saturday and make out with me again and leave in 10 hours, cool with that, man. But I am not going to be living with a person. And I cannot be in a relationship. Because I know over time that person, I will feel like that they do not care about me. And I will start to feel like they're going to leave me. And then I'll start to feel in real pain because they don't love me enough. And they're going to leave me for somebody else. Somebody with money or somebody that's better or whatever. Or somebody like one of those pretty people that I'm talking about that has a nice SUV that came from a loving home. Or, yeah, pretty much once I start to feel like someone doesn't love me, I could either go in two ways. I could either feel like I want to cry and I want to lay in bed all the time, or I start to want to kill them. And those are the two paths. And I know this from being with enough relationships, 2-3 year relationships, living with people that's better off that I don't. That's better off that I just have booty calls. You want to come over and make out with me? Once every couple days. And leave. Safer for other people. Safer for myself. So it's safer for other people. The best way, if you're a psychopath, is just keep yourself isolated. Put yourself in a prison system. Like, I live on a 3-lot acre property, a garden. I hang out with a dog. I hang out with family members, and I stay away from society. I don't allow myself to be a part of it. Because every time I do try to join society, I end up trying to kill people or wanting to kill people. I remember I was a preschool teacher over in Thailand, and I had this one kid, and for some reason I didn't like the kid. He was like, but these kids were 3 years old. They were 3 and 4 years old, and this kid was 3.5 years old. And whenever I'd be teaching the ABCs or the 1, 2, 3s in preschool, he would always be, he wouldn't be talking, but he would be doing something. I forgot what it was. And I would pick him up and I would go right back to the smart board, and all the students would be in class. All the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds would be in class. And I would take him, and he understood English. And I would take him, and I would like grab him and like really squeeze him tight. And I probably hurt him. He's 3 years old, dude. And I would like whisper in his ear, and I'd be like, "Listen, motherfucker, I'll slit your goddamn throat." And I started saying more stuff like that. And I'd be like, and I'd want to fucking slice his fucking throat. He's 3-year-old. I'd fucking kill him right away. If I could murder that 3-year-old, I would have fucking killed that 3-year-old. I'd kill a fucking 3-year-old. That's how scary people like me are. When I was a little kid, I was like 5, 7, 8 years old. I would take like whenever I saw like a bunny rabbit or a puppy dog that I really thought was cute, I'd be like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're so cute." And I'd strangle it in his throat. And then I'd realize, because I grew up in a cop family. I grew up with like a mom and a dad. They were both like cops, right? And my dad was also in the army. So I knew, like in the back of my mind, if I fucking kill this, and because there was always people around me, and usually it was somebody else's puppy dog, I'd be like off to the side with the puppy dog or something, or the rabbit, and I do that, but I like want to fucking kill, like, you're so cute, I want to fucking kill you. And I was like 7, and I wanted to fucking kill the little puppy dog or the rabbit. And then I knew that it was wrong because like there were people around me watching me. And if I like my parents and like other like children and family people, and if I killed that puppy dog, or if I killed that rabbit, I'd be in deep shit because there were all these viewers around me. So I obviously didn't kill the rabbit or the puppy dog. I started trying to kill children when I was 5 years old. I started trying to kill, the first time I tried to kill my sister, I was 7. I've threatened to kill my mom hundreds of times. I can't even tell you how many times I've told my mom I was going to slit her throat. I always go after the throat. I always say I want to slit people's throats. I go into extreme details about the ways I want to kill people in this book. It's called Psychopath. It's a terrific book, by the way. If you want to know about our population, OCD, mentally ill, schizophrenic, BPD, psychopathic, any of us, read this book, man. It's phenomenal. It's goddamn phenomenal. It took me 5 years to write this goddamn book. And if you are extremely depressed, or if you are a mother or a father or a family member of somebody that is extremely depressed, I'd read this book, man. I'd read this book. Read it. Fuck it. You know everything about a psychopath after you get done with this goddamn book. You'll know everything about a split personality disorder. You'll know everything about like what to avoid the next time you're trying to date somebody. Because that's all anybody cares about. They only care about themselves. What do I do to avoid dating a narcissist psychopath? Guess what, you fucking idiots? Thanks, YouTube. Thanks, MedCircle. MedCircle, you are the biggest fucking idiots out there. MedCircle, thanks for giving all the narcissists and the psychopaths a field guide to study from. I love it. All these, well, the smart ones. The narcissists and the psychopaths that aren't smart, they're too stupid to fucking study. They're just idiots. The smart ones, the smart psychopathic narcissists, we study. We study a lot. You know how many hours of narcissistic videos I watched? Most of them from like MedCircle, that Indian woman that's like the head honcho on narcissist. I have a playlist of narcissism on my other YouTube channel, Joe Northup 1962. And if you want to watch it, I think I erased some of the narcissist videos on there. I have a playlist, and I've listened to over 29 hours on what a narcissist is. 29 hours, and I've listened to it more than once. So I know, thanks to MedCircle and other doctors on YouTube, if I'm a narcissist, I know everything that these doctors are telling the average people of what to avoid and how to handle narcissists. So one of the key things is like how to spot out a narcissist. If you're on the first date with a man or a woman and you go into a restaurant and they're being very nice to you, but they act like complete dillholes to the waiter, watch out, because you're probably dating a narcissist or a psychopath. So now that YouTube has given all that information to the average people and the intelligent narcissists and the psychopaths that study this stuff, next time I want to woo a woman and go on a date with her and I know I'm a narcissist or a psychopath, I'm going to be very nice to the waiter. I'm going to be like, oh, waiter, you're the greatest human ever. I love waiters. You're the best. And I'll try to manipulate and win the waiter over too. Because that's what we're all about. When we're psychopaths and narcissists, we're all about winning people over. It's all about like, what can I do for you for now? Yet. Carol Dweck, baby. Growth mindset. Yeah, study. Study psychology. I study spirituality. I geek out on this stuff. If you want to really be safe from people like me or people of the 1%, or if you just don't want us around, number one, read this book. Dude, Cockroaches. I gotta read Cockroaches. Cockroaches is so good. It's the best chapter because it goes into what it's like being a psychopath and how society just wants us to all die. They just don't want us around. And I know society and like average people would never say they want to kill all the mentally ill people. But at the end of the day, they don't want us around. You know, the two biggest populations that get arrested in America, it's not black people. It's not Hispanic people. It's not the people that you would think that are on the news. The two biggest populations that get arrested by cops in America are the mentally ill and the homeless. And how many homeless people are mentally ill, right? So clearly, the cops don't want us in the sight of humans because they see us as another subspecies. They see us as like this diseased, like cockroach. Exactly. They see us as fucking cockroaches. You could be in our society. Just stay in your homes. Or just get away from people's eyesight because we don't want to see you because you're a bunch of fucking cockroaches. Hence the title of that chapter, Cockroaches. Read the goddamn book. It's $3. I know nobody's gotten this far in the video. Nobody gets this far in the videos unless you're from Hungary or Portugal. You know, my crew in Hungary and Portugal, you get this far into the videos. You do because you're my boys and women. I love Hungary and Portugal, yo. And Canada, man. Shout out to Canada. You've also listened to most of my videos. Back when YouTube used to run my videos. Now they don't. Because they're scared of the stuff that I say. Because they don't want people to know the truth. True news, baby. True news. Anyways, yo. I gotta go. But I'm going to film more videos because I don't give a shit about what YouTube wants. People need to know about this stuff. Okay, by the way, the name of the book is called Psychopath. Go on Amazon.com. Click on books at the top of the page. And then type in Joe Northup Psychopath and it'll come up. A couple of people have bought it in the last week. And if you have Kindle, you can get it for free. This teenager wrote me on a comment on one of my TikTok videos, and she said, I got your book for free, so you can get it for free as well. You don't have to pay the $3. And Joe Winterow, the name of that book, click on books at the top of the page, Amazon. I'm feeling the darkness of suicidal depression again. That's $1. It's cheaper than baby carrots. Anyways, Winnie the Pooh rocks. Sorry if I got angry in that video, but F it, man. Sometimes I get angry. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. And YouTube, you better put this video up. Much love.